Welcome everybody. This week's episode we're going to be talking a little about auction sites. Behind me here I have two beautiful silver on black BMWs, both that ran through Cars and Bids. This one here I bought for myself last week. Show you a little bit of things on before we get moving. And this one actually ran on Cars and Bids. The sale didn't go through and I ended up purchasing directly through the dealership who had it listed on there. So Dan will dig a little deeper into some things we found that weren't disclosed on the auction. So on this one, I'm going to talk to you what it's like about buying a car from an auction site like Cars and Bids and Bring a Trailer. I've bought several cars on sites like that, sold several as well, and I can give you a little insight on how close you should look at the photos and some of the questions you should ask. So guys, cars like this are what make auction sites a lot of fun. As you know, I'm an E38 nut. I've got two E38 Sporty Shorties, 2000 black on black and an 01 silver on black. Now the plan all along with the silver one was to go a little crazy. I wanted to do a 6-speed swap. I have a Jaguar supercharger with an adapter plate ready to go for it, as well as an Iceman exhaust. So I was planning on having a little bit of a wild one. And then I saw this car pop up. I was browsing Cars and Bids and saw this 2001 silver on black Sporty Shorty with a 6-speed already done. So I did what any rational person would do and then jumped on it and bought it. So this is going to be one of my new daily drivers to mix in with the ZHP and the other E38 there. So there's going to be a lot of fun coming out of this one. The 6-speed in this car just feels so awesome. It's natural, it fits the body well. It's not like these new 7 Series where they're as big as your house. But yeah, this thing is it's truly incredible.
This is a vibe.
Yeah, man, this is it. If you know me, you know I love my big old man cars. This is perfect.
Yes, sir.
I hate surprises as much as you do, Jay. And given these are used cars, they're not brand new. But when we sell an E46 M3, we obviously are as transparent as possible and point out every piece, every item wear and tear, every dent, every ding. So you know what to expect, especially if you're buying it from sight unseen. Now, a little bit of a surprise here. When this 01 E46 M3 came to us, and obviously some educated folks saw through it on Cars and Bids, and that's why it sold for what it did. Or didn't sell rather. This is the key that we received for the car. Just merely the blade part.
What is that?
Don't make fun of my ashy
He
hands.
needs some milk.
Just the blade part. So the diamond cut keys on these guys, never seen one break, but they're back ordered currently. So instead of spending $60 for at least a valet, I have a nice modified snap-on plier holder. And this is how we're currently opening and starting this example. So there's a couple common items I want to point out to you on this guy that we would attend to before we listed ours for sale. And obviously mechanical reconditioning is our #1 priority, followed by cosmetics. At the end of the day, it's still a 20-year-old car. We sell driver's examples. Right off the bat though, a couple things we've noticed compared to the listing that we looked at. The paint here on the back, the clear coat is starting to fail, which is really evident. Something else that we've seen on the E46 M3 convertibles is this strip right here. The clear coat is often, especially on a Mola and black, the clear coat is very thin, and we have a lot of clear coat failure here and here. That was not obviously pointed out, disclosed. Unless you had a good eye and a large desktop, you wouldn't have seen it. Another option, besides the key and the paint, inside on the back, on the E46 M3, when the convertible top and the rear seat's taken out so you can see it, when the convertible tops go down on these guys, there's a transmission, if you will, with a bunch of plastic gears inside, and they're pretty common to strip or break. And what that does is obviously aids in the function of the convertible top, especially when closing this piece right here. That was corrected incorrectly. We would have bought a new transmission to put in there and done it the right way. Another thing too on the back, and I'm sure you'll cut the B-roll on this, the rear headrests on the convertibles, for whatever reason, the backside panel likes to come off. That's evident on these. And some of the photos, they intentionally photographed over them as not to point them out. Another one, the bat wings on these guys, completely torn out. Repairing them, honestly, is virtually impossible. I would have made that clear to the buyer and the audience that I was selling to, and just been transparent. It's so much easier if you're just simply transparent. Oh, big one. In the listing, when we purchased it from the dealer mentioned that the big three were done. There was no receipts in here. However, when we put the car up in the air, it was very clear that there were no subframe reinforcement plates intact, nor was it reinforced from the top. Obviously, we'd have to pull the pan, pull the bearings, pull the valve cover, which I think we will on this guy, to check to see if the bearings or Banos were done. But right away, gives you an uneasy feeling in your stomach. Last but not least too, obviously each one of our cars goes through a full diagnostic and inspection process. Just that baseline for what we would have done if this were our car. We obviously attended an oil change, brake flush, coolant flush. Drive belts, the drive belts are in desperate need of replacement. The front crankshaft seal is leaking. The front control arm bushings are shot. The front brakes, rotors and pads are going to get replaced. They're very low, measuring very thin, they're lipped. So obviously some big ticket items that, you know, if you were buying this sight unseen, wouldn't be very nice to discover once you took delivery of it. So again, that's just the difference between us and buying a car from a private party through an intermediary or buying a car from an independent shop. So if you're selling a car, just be transparent.